हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम। भगवान हे राम हे राम हे राम हे राम। हमें दया करो। गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर। गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ओम सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्र मूर्ते सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार। वरनो रघुवर विमल यश जो दायक फल चार। बोधहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि वेद्या देहु मोहि हरहु क्लेश विकार। सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। हे नाथ मम संकट हरो हरि। Please be seated. We begin with our Ramayana Chaupais.
खाए, सदा धर्म में असरथ जागे, जीतन कहन आगे। जय राम श्री रामा, श्री रामा जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, राम जय जय सीता राम जय जय राम। वह शोभाज समाज सुख कहतन वन कुबेश, वरण शारद शेष श्रुति सोर सजान नरेश सिया, पति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। बंदो पवन कुमार, कलवन पावक ज्ञान घन, जासु हृदय आगार, बस ही राम शर चाप धर।
बोल श्री राजा रामचंद्र की जय। We first concentrate on Gajanan Swami. गणनाथा गजवदना, गणनाथा दीन वंदना, गणनाथा गजवदना, गणनाथा दीन वंदना, गणनाथा गजवदना, गणनाथा दीन वंदना,
गणनाथा गजवदना, गणनाथा दीन वंदना,
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया,
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया,
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया,
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया,
सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना,
सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना,
सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना,
सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना,
ओ पार्वती नंदन भाव भय भंजन,
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 ओ युग युग बंधन जय श्री गणेश,
युग युग बंधन
युग युग बंधन जय श्री गणेश।
युग युग बंधन जय श्री गणेश।
गणनाथा गजवदना गणनाथा दीनवंदना।
गणनाथा गजवदना गणनाथा दीनवंदना।
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया।
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया।
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया।
सिद्धि दाता शिव तनया।
सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना।
सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना।
ओ सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना।
सिद्धि प्रदायक गजानना।
ओ पार्वती नंदन भय भंजन।
पार्वती नंदन भय भंजन।
ओ पार्वती नंदन भय भंजन।
पार्वती नंदन भय भंजन।
ओ युग युग बंधन जय श्री गणेश।
युग युग बंधन जय श्री गणेश।
ओ युग युग बंधन जय श्री गणेश।
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 बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती 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 काली जगमाता।
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 ओ काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
ओ काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
काली जगमाता काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता।
जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। जय जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती काली जगमाता। बोले श्री आर शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय। श्री काली माता की जय। We concentrate on Bhagwan Shankar. सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोऽस्तु ते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
ॐ सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
हे मधुसूदन सुब्रह्मण्यं वृन्दावन मधुराधिपते।
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 ॐ जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती।
जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती।
ॐ सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
ॐ सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
हे सुखदायक जग प्रतिपालक हे दुखहारी त्रयंबक।
हे सुखदायक जग प्रतिपालक हे दुःखहार त्रयंबक।
हे सुखदायक जग प्रतिपालक हे दुखहारी त्रयंबक।
हे सुखदायक जग प्रतिपालक हे दुःखहार त्रयंबक।
ओ जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। ओम जय शिव मंगल आरती।
जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती।
ओम सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
ॐ सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते।
जय हे त्रिलोचन पाप विमोचन नीलकंठ कैलाशपति।
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 हो जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। ओम जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। जय शिव मंगल आरती। ओम सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। सद्गुरु शिव नमोस्तुते। ओम सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं Sadguru Shiva Namostute, Sadguru Shiva Namostute, Om Sadguru Shiva Namostute, Om Sadguru.
Shiva Namostute.
We continue to concentrate on Bhagwan Shankar devotees. Let's join together. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Raksha Mam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Raksha Mam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Raksha Mam.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Raksha Mam. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Raksha Mam. Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam. Om Namah Shivaya, Pahi Mam. Om Namah Shivaya, Raksha Mam. Om Namah Shivaya, Raksha Mam. Bole Sri Umapati Mahadev ki Jai. Now devotees, as we normally do, first minute or two meditation practice. Remember, the reason we are doing this is that we want to focus our mind. Our minds are normally like monkeys, they jump around. Different thoughts, different things come to mind. So what we want to do is to stabilize that mind, make it one-pointed, focused, okay? So you're going to sit up straight, place your hands on your lap, close your eyes, and you take a deep breath in, breathe slowly out through your mouth. Okay, so all you want to do is make sure your out breath is longer than your in breath. So let's go 3 times, breathe in, and just keep your attention focused on your breath, and out. In, and out. And in, and out. Now for a few seconds, just remain focused on your breath, just that feeling of the breath going in and out. Bring your attention back to that breath. If your mind moves away, that's okay. Just bring it back to the breath. Okay, now we're going to do mantra jap as our minds are receptive. Mrityunjay mantra 5 times with havan of a little bit of ghee in the fire. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Uruvarukam Iva Bandhanan Mrityur Mukshya Mamritat. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Offer some Google and sugar in the fire. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Now 5 times Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Offer some Google and sugar again. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Pass water on the fire 3 times. Om Sarva Papaharang Dibyam Gangyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamaya Dattam Grihitam Purushotamaha Achmanyam Samarpayami Sriyagindevaya Namo Namaha. Before going into our Bhagavad Gita study for today, devotees, we will join together Krishna Bhajan.
मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन प्यारो प्यारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, महारानी लागे, मन खारो खारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। यमुना जी तो खारी खारी राधा गोरी गोरी, वृंदावन में धूम मचावे बरसाने की छोरी। ब्रजधाम राधा चुकी ब्रजधानी लागे, ब्रजधानी लागे, मन प्यारो प्यारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, महारानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। कान्हा नित मुरली में तेरे सुमरे बारंबार, कान्हा नित मुरली में तेरे सुमरे बारंबार। कोटिन रूप धरि मनमोहन कहु न पावे पार, कोटिन रूप धरि मनमोहन कहु न पावे पार। इतना गुण गाने लागे, गुण गाने लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीलो पानी लागे। मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। ना भावे मन माखन मिश्री अब नो कोई मिठाई, ना भावे मन माखन मिश्री अब न कोई मिठाई। मारिच बरिया न भावे अब तो राधा नाम मलाई, मारिच बरिया न भावे अब तो राधा नाम मलाई। वृष भानु की लली तो गुणधानी लागे, गुणधानी लागे, मन प्यारो प्यारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे। राधा राधा नाम रटत है जो नर आठो याम, राधा राधा नाम रटत है जो नर आठो याम, जिनकी बाधा दूर करत है राधा राधा नाम, जिनकी राधा दूर करत है राधा राधा नाम, राधा नाम से सफल जिंदगानी लागे, जिंदगानी लागे, मन प्यारो प्यारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे, मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, महारानी लागे, मन प्यारो प्यारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे, मीठे रस से भरो रे राधा रानी लागे, राधा रानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे, मन कारो कारो यमुना जीनो पानी लागे।
बोले श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। Firstly, devotees, let me say blessings to Pandit Atma and Marissa and the children. I was ill 2 weeks ago. I wasn't able to make service, but Pandit Atma carried on and it went well, right, Antivindra? Good. So blessings to Pandit Atma and Marissa for carrying on in my absence. God's work goes on. Doesn't depend on any of us. Very good. Acha. So, the plan is to continue on. We are studying the Bhagavad Gita. And to be clear, it's not the Bhagavad Gita. Some people erroneously say the Bhagavad Gita. It's the Bhagavad Mahapuran, but this is the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? And the Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between, well, you tell me, Sri Krishna and Arjuna. They were close friends, but as you see, the relationship here developed as a teacher and student, guru and chela. Sri Krishna is trying to take Arjuna out of a funk. Now, to remind you, why are we studying this? As I mentioned many times, if you ask what's the main scripture of the Christians, people say the Bible. The Muslims have. Hindus or Sanatanists have. Well, a big list. A big list. But out of these, one scripture is considered as the essence of all of the teachings. And that scripture is the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, we have the Ramayana as well, the story of Sri Ram, where we extract lessons. But that isn't, core philosophy. You have to extract it from the story. So it's mythology with the philosophy built in there. Okay? All right. But just again, to be very clear, what's the supreme scripture, the main scripture of Hindus, Sanatan Dharma? What's it called? Vedas. Ved. Okay, the Vedas. From the Vedas, we have part of it called the Upanishads. And a distillation of the philosophy in the Upanishads we find in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So it's good to know where these things come from. Alright. So we are studying chapter 2. And just like a class, don't lie to me, you're in the temple. How many of you read chapter 2 already? Let me see your hands. Alright. So remember, you're here to learn for your own sake, because I would assume for most of you, for most of us, the secret to who we truly are is still not apparent. Alright? I should probably ask you this question. Why are you here? Why are you here in the temple today? You seek truth. All right. Anybody else? Yes? All right. Any other answers? How many of you? To gain knowledge that you don't have. Okay. Anybody don't know why they're here? Or you're just here because it's good to come temple? Your parents say it's good to come. You want to bring your children to expose them. All of these things are good, you know. But what is the main reason why we are here? You see, devotees, we all are seeking something whether we know it or not. Now, superficially we call it happiness. Not so? Superficially. We want to be happy. But as we've mentioned over and over again, is it possible to be happy all the time? No. So again, I will go through the 5 givens of life. Okay, you remember what they are? I've said this so many times, you should be telling me now. So you live your life. Now, I don't expect the children to fully understand this, but as you go along, as you have life experience, you begin to understand these 5 givens. Okay? So what are the 5 givens? Number 1. I'll give you keywords to remember. The keyword is change. If you have something to write, that's fine. Remember, we're not here for entertainment. You want to take away something with you, to grow week by week. Okay? So the first one is change. What do I mean by change? Everything changes and ends. So everybody sitting here, did you always look like this? I was a little baby. Some of us chubbier babies than others. Then we grew up, right? Started to run around, play, we went to school. The body's always changing, not so? And one day to come, what is going to happen? It is going to come to an end. This body is going to come to an end. My question for you is, if you die, the body dies, we see people dying all around, but we don't think about this. We feel we are going to live forever. When your body dies, do you die? Do you really die? What happens to you? Now, I don't want an intellectual answer. Don't tell me what you've read anywhere. I want to know what you know. What you know to be true. What happens to you? If you cannot answer that question 100% truthfully, then you are not there yet. You haven't realized. Okay? So if you think with the death of the body, you die, then I am telling you it's a mistake. You could agree or disagree, that's up to you. But you cannot deny the fact that life is only about change. Everything has a beginning, but coming with a beginning comes an end. How many ends does a stick have? 2. Once you have one, you have the other. So you know you hear priests and other people talking about duality. Dual means 2. And it simply means when you get one, you get the next one. You see, like when Panat Atma come, you get Marissa too. When I come, you get Arti too. That is a stupid example, right? But what I mean is, once you have one, you get the other. So you tell me, if you experience happiness in life, what do you also get? Could anybody get away from it? Look at all of the saints. Look at their lives. Nobody get away from it. Do you fully accept this? First thing. Fact of life. All right. So, based on this now, the second given of life is, nothing goes according to plan. Akash, you plan to meet Mala in Florida here, boy? No. It worked out good for you though? Right. Alright? So, you could plan how much you want, and it's good to have a plan, but be prepared for things not to go according to plan. Right? Uncle Steve, you know that, right? The older people especially, you know that. You plan. I didn't plan in my life. I ended up living in England, living in Trinidad, living in the US,
right? I didn't plan to have 3 children. Let me rephrase that, I planned to have 3 children, but initially, I told Artie, I say, I'm a kind of sleepy, tired kind of fella. I think I could handle 1 child. After we had the first one, she said, well, let me have 2 now. You want to have 2 to kind of balance, see if you have a boy and a girl. All right. We had a next one. The next one turned out to be Vindy. All right, well, let me see if we have 1 more now. The boy might come. And, well, the boy come. Right? And so we stopped there. So it go. So it wasn't the plan, but things work out a certain way. And now, I'm happy to have all you, most of the time. Not when all you're quarreling and fighting and anything. So, think about your life, devotees. Did everything go according to plan? No. You had to kind of adjust as you went along, right? And life will continue to throw curveballs at you. Okay. The third one is, life is not fair. Now, people hear this and they go, yeah, life is fair. Do you understand what I mean by life is not fair? You in a job, you work hard, you're qualified. Time to go up for promotion. Somebody else who is a minister friend or somebody friend, get the job in front of you with less qualifications, you remain life there. You remain right there. Is that fair? No. Is it supposed to be fair? Think. So if it's supposed to be fair, why it wasn't fair? If you were supposed to get a job, why you didn't get it? Because life isn't fair. You see, we mustn't fool ourselves with these things people say all around. Their life isn't fair. You think something is due to you, but the world don't behave according to how you want it. Does it? No. So, life isn't fair. Now, of course, we have the concept of karma. What goes around comes around. But in a little bubble, it doesn't seem like that, does it? At a higher level, when you get older, and in hindsight, you find that what happened to you was supposed to happen. But in the moment, it doesn't feel nice at all. Okay? Right, Uncle Wayne? It had to be like this. In the moment, it didn't feel fair at all. Why? But in hindsight, no. It put you on a certain pathway, a trajectory. Your mind is different now because of what has happened. All of us went through the same thing. Or will go through the same thing. Fourth one. Pain. Anybody here never had pain? I'm talking about physical pain. You break a foot, you go by the dentist to pull a tooth. You know, I have this it's not a medical condition, but if I go by the dentist and they inject me with anesthetic, they could give me a horse dose. You know, we know Ocala, right? They could give me a horse dose of anesthetic, and I will still feel pain. Some people just, it doesn't work on them like that. But pain, so I hate to go by the dentist. So they have to give me extra. But who here never felt pain before? You never fall down, break your leg, get a cut, some medical condition. Who never had pain? Anybody? Even the sages, devotees, Jesus Christ, nailed him upon the cross. Sri Ramana Maharishi, Sri Krishna, all the avatar, no matter what, if you feel you could pray and get away from pain, you're mistaken. Think about it. You're praying, God, don't let me have pain. Now, it's okay, you pray, but trust me, the pain gonna come. So, what we say is, you're not praying for the pain not to come, What you praying for? That to go away. Uncle Steve said for the pain to go away. True. With time it will pass, nothing lasts forever, but to be able to cope or deal with that pain. Right? I know it good. Devotees, I'm not here to preach to you, we are all fellow sufferers. All of us in this going through. I am not a Swami somewhere. I have a family. I am living a household, a life just like you. All of us in the same boat. So this is compassion, right? What I've realized, we try to pass it on. Not so? And the last one. This one is trouble. Trouble too bad. Remember the last one? People are not loving nor loyal all the time. Right, Akash? You behaving yourself? I just try to behave myself too, but sometimes I open my mouth too much. And then I get in trouble. But you know what? The intent is good. We all make mistakes because we're weak. We get angry. We get upset. Okay? We're driven by desires. Fine. But we always pull ourselves back. Not so. We correct ourselves. But don't expect those around you to be loving or loyal all the time. It will never happen. All right, girls? Girls in front? So you have a boy. Anybody have a boyfriend yet? No. You're married and thing yet, right? And none of you don't know. You see your mommy watching from behind. You feel when you find somebody, Vaishnavi, Vindi, you feel when you find somebody that they will make you totally happy in your life? And even just shaking her head and say, no, no. I'm not saying they wouldn't make you happy at all, you know. They must, uncle, you married for how many years now? I put uncle on the spot there now. He watching around like this. You forget. Well, that's the next extreme there now. We will talk about that some other time. But the thing about it is this expectation. You see, you can't expect somebody else to make you happy. Nobody makes anybody happy, nor makes anybody sad. People have their reactions, but who it is, at the end of the day, it is all you and your expectations. Not so? Good. So these are the 5 givens in life. The reason I keep going this over and over, devotees, is because spiritual life, spiritual development starts here. If everything nice and fine and dandy, you are thinking about God, you're okay. But from the time problems hit, things don't go your way, any of these 5 givens hit you, then now you start to think, hey, what's going on here? Is this what life is about? Okay? Now, that is the problem, the disease. The Buddha put it nicely, you know. There is dukkha, suffering. All those things I mentioned, what is the problem? The disease is dukkha, suffering, unhappiness. What is the cause of unhappiness? Buddha put it, Trishna, thirsting for things of the world. Let me put it simply, expecting this world to bring you peace and happiness. What is the solution? Nirvana. Escaping from this being or meaning through knowledge, through realizing something. And what is the technique or the prescription, the way to do it? Well, in the Buddhist path is the Eightfold Path. We have different yogas they're called. Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Karam Yoga, etc. that is talked about in the Gita. These are pathways. But the good news, let me put it like this. You like bad news first or good news first? Let me see. Bad news first. Let me see your hand. I like bad news first. Then good news. All right, let me do bad news, good news. The bad news is these 5 givens, nobody could get away from it. And nobody is getting out of this world alive. You could extend your life for how long you want, you still have to go one day. So that's the bad news. But what's the good news? The good news is there's a way out of this suffering. Okay? There's a way out of it by coming to a certain realization, a certain knowing. That knowing, that realization is you, each person here, you are not who you think you are. You are not a person. You are something more. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. That what? You are Brahman, the Atman, pure awareness. It's not a physical thing, pure spirit that exists where? That exists everywhere. So, all this is a summary, eh? Chapter 2, when Sri Krishna told Arjuna, listen Arjuna, don't be dejected. Why? He hit him with the main philosophy right off the bat, the bombshell. Arjuna, you are not who you think you are. You are soul, spirit. Water can't wet it. Fire can't burn it. Weapons can't cut it. All that means is not physical. You are not a physical being. And so he goes on and explains various things. And now we come to a point here in chapter 2 where we are, where Arjuna is saying, okay, Sri Krishna, I buy into what you're telling me. I have an inkling as to what you're saying. But I want you to tell me, this man of wisdom, and I'm not saying man, let me say person, because we have man and woman and others and whatever, right? Person. The person of wisdom. How does that person behave? How does that person feel? So devotees, the person of wisdom here, we are trying to understand what we are aiming toward. So we could use this knowledge in two ways. The first way is to judge. You have plenty holy people around, right? So based on the criteria here, we could look at how they are, how they speak, how they walk, what they do, and determine if they are realized or not. But more importantly, you could use this criteria here and decide if you are realized or what you have to do to get to that position. You understand? So I ask you at the beginning, what's your aim? What's your point? What you're trying to do? And the answer is, if you didn't know, Sri Krishna gives the answer to Arjuna's question, what is the disposition, the characteristics of a person of wisdom, a person who's realized? You with me? So the scriptures, devotees, it says like a mirror. So before you come, hopefully some of you look in the mirror and dress up, fix yourself nicely before you come to the temple, right? Well, in the same way, when you come to temple, we hold up this spiritual mirror. Right? So the scripture is like a mirror, but also your mind is like a mirror. So now you have to work on your own mind, to polish that mind, to clean it out, so that you can see in reality who you truly are. Now, to be very clear, this is not something new that you're going to find. It's something that you're going to uncover inside. You see, you go by the river or the lake, and it's muddy. You have things in it and you can't see down to the bottom. But if you leave it and you let it settle, it becomes calm. You look at the clear water and you can see straight down to the bottom. You can see that bottommost layer. That is what the aim is. That's the analogy. Everybody with me? Okay. So that's summary. We go to the Bhagavad Gita now, and let's quickly recap. So we look at the question first. Let's start at verse 54, and then we'll move on there. So I'll quickly summarize verse 54, the questions Arjuna asked, and then we'll go on to Bhagwan Sri Krishna's answers. Arjuna Avach, Arjuna says, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha, Samadhisthasya Keshava, Sthitadihi kim prabhashet, kim asita vrajet kim. See, Arjuna says, he asked 4 questions of Sri Krishna. Number 1, O Keshav, O Krishna, what is the disposition or characteristics of that person who is situated in divine consciousness, who is realized? The second question, how does such an enlightened person talk? How does he speak? Third question, how does he sit? In other words, how does he carry about himself? And fourth question, how does he walk? In other words, devotees, how does he move about in life in general? So, the key here is, from a person's external behavior, we can tell how that person's mind is. You understand? So if Pandit Umesh used to come here and I used to sit down like this, and unless I have some disease or something that jumpy and all over, what can you say about my mind? Well, you would sort of assume that my mind is jumpy as well. Say, but this Pandit can't sit down quiet, boy. Right? So if you can't carry yourself, you see, your body language speaks a lot more than what you actually say. Not so? What you do is more important than what you say. You could tell me anything, but I watch your behavior, what you do, and then I could tell what is in your mind. Okay? So Arjuna asked these 4 questions. Is that clear with everybody? Okay. So now on to the answer. Sri Krishna answers this by saying, we move to verse 55. Sri Bhagwan Uvach, Sri Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanevadmana tushta sthita pragyastadochyate. The Supreme Lord said, O Parth, when one discards all selfish desires and cravings of the senses, that is kaman, these cravings that torment the mind, and this person becomes satisfied in the realization of the self by the self, such a person is called stable of mind or stable of wisdom, sthita pragya. Such a person is realized. So now let us analyze, devotees. Sri Krishna is giving the answer to the question. He is saying, and the key here is prajahati yada kaman. When you discard all of these kaman. What is kam? Kam means desire. So you tell me, what is a synonym for desire? What does desire mean? What is your desire? You want. Whatever you want. So take a moment for me. Just take a moment and think about this. Right now in your life, each person here, right now in your life, I'm going to ask you a question. Don't answer me out loud, but answer in your own mind. Okay? What do you want? Don't just rush to answer. Think about it carefully. What do you want? Take a moment. You have an answer? How many of you could honestly tell me that really and truly you have no sort of wants or desires for the world anymore? And what I mean, okay, you pray, you want compassion for all, yes, you know, things to go well, you have that intent, but any real selfish desire that you think that, you know, if I do this, or if I get this, or if I go there, it will make me happy. How many of you could say, with all honesty, that you don't have any of these desires? Let me see your hand. Nani? Anybody else? I put up my hand halfway. Right? I get in there, but I'm not fully there yet. But honestly, devotees, if you ask me what I want, I do things for my family. I try my best. I don't want to see anybody suffer. I don't need a vacation. Oh, I want food, eh? I like food. So maybe I have to work on that. But aside from food, what? I wear the same clothes all the time? Do I need to get anything to make me happy? If I get a bigger house, that is a burden for me. You know what scriptures say? Dukham eva sarvam vivekinaha. For the person of discrimination, of right vision, everything is painful. You know why? Because when you grab onto something or you want more and more, it becomes a burden to you eventually. Not that you don't enjoy it, you know, but it becomes a burden. You get a big house, you have to clean the house. You have to keep fixing things in the house. You get a car, you have to keep fixing the car, you have to maintain it. You have children, they bring you joy and happiness, they leave you one day or they cuss you up. You know, and so you go, so you go. They come out how you want them to come out, or they don't come out how you want them to come out. You have no control. So this is what is meant by everything in this world. Whatever you try to get for your own happiness, it doesn't work out 100% for you. Okay? So what is Sri Krishna saying? What at the highest level, what is the aim here? How to judge yourself, how to judge others. When these selfish desires and cravings of the mind, they become satisfied, they're no longer there. Now how? Look at what is happening. You're no longer interested in getting external satisfaction. However, you do get satisfaction, you know. But what is that satisfaction? What is that peace? Becomes satisfied in the self by the self. So what does this mean? Now, I want to make a technical clarifying point here. Some of you may be confused when I say you, yourself, what I'm talking about, because at various times I'm talking about a different self. Alright? So I want to make this abundantly clear. Let's call it common self, S-E-L-F, common S. By that self, I mean you. Who you think you are right now. Okay? So if you pause for a moment, when we did the meditation earlier, and you close your eyes, did you have a sense of being present right there in your body? Right now you have a sense of you being here looking at me, not so? That is the common self, little self. That self, it feels like you, not so? The voice in your head, your feeling of presence here, it feels like you. Well, the big news is that common self is not you. That common self is a reflection of what we call the real self or the true self, and I would say that's with a capital S, S-E-L-F. So let me use an analogy to make this clear. You see you have the sun outside, and imagine you have a pot of water outside. Okay? The sun is like the capital self, capital S-E-L-F. That is God, the supreme consciousness. I'm not saying it's the sun, eh? I'm saying it's like that. I'm using an analogy. It's one sun. How many suns we have? One. Shedding light where? Everywhere. But if you go outside and look in a pot of water, if you look into it, what would you see? But what? Is it the actual sun? There's it. The word is a reflection. So that pot with water in it is like you with your mind. That self reflects inside of your mind. Your brother is like a next pot with water in it. Same sun reflecting in that mind. So to everybody here. You get it? Do you understand? So when I say yourself, I am not talking about me, Umesh. I am talking about the supreme self, capital S-E-L-F. So I'll use that supreme self. So what Sri Krishna is really saying here is when you realize who you truly are, that you are not this body, you are not this thinking mind, you are not even that I that you think you are, but you are that one consciousness reflected in you, in the self, by the self. That is total fulfillment. That is happiness. That is what the sages refer to as self-realization. Self-realization. It is to realize something. So let me ask you a question to see if you understand. Is that supreme self inside of you right now? Yep. Everywhere. Remember I said the self is everywhere. It doesn't move. Everything moves in that one self, one consciousness. The self cannot be seen. It is the seer. So this is what I'm talking about. So the question I have for you is, if that self is in you and everywhere, how come you don't know? How come you don't know? Panitatma, how come you don't know? How come we don't realize that? Why? Maya, Maya, Maya. Now what is this Maya? Yeah, but what is that? So, to explain Maya, according to Vedanta, Maya really means, let me give you an easy word for Maya, mistake. There is this classic example that is used. You have a rope, right? Imagine a rope there, but you take off all the lights in the temple and you walk in the temple. If you're like me and you're afraid snake, you see the rope and you think, hey, look at snake, and you run outside. Is the rope a snake? But did I take it to be a snake? So this is how we explain Maya. Taking the rope to be a snake is a mistake. Did the snake exist? No, it is just an illusion. So now let me make this very clear to you. Inside of us, this body, what you see in here, the ego, the I, that is like the rope or the snake? So this body here, this equipment, this physical thing is like the rope. But because of consciousness, we think it is a snake. We think it is real. We think it is something. But in truth and in fact, it is just a rope. Remember the story I told you about the donkey? So the washerman took the donkey. He forgot the rope home. He said, all right. The wise man told him, pretend to tie the donkey. So he pretended to tie the donkey, and the donkey saw him, and the donkey thought he was tied. Was the donkey tied? The donkey free all the time. To untie him, what he did, he pretended to untie the donkey. Then the donkey thought, oh, I am free. And the donkey could move. So too, devotees, we all think, due to our minds, that we are this limited body. Anybody can remember the first time you recall being a little person? You can't, can you? Some people claim they could do that, eh? At some point, this consciousness started to identify with this body in a baby. And so it goes. But at some point, this body is going to drop off like old clothes and that consciousness will remain. Okay, so is this clear? Sri Krishna is saying, let me summarize. When all these selfish desires and cravings, meaning you expect things of the world, people and things to make you happy, they go away, and you become satisfied in yourself, capital S-E-L-F, by yourself. In other words, you move beyond your little self towards this bigger self. I am existence, pure consciousness, not just a little blip in time. Then that person who has that knowledge constantly is called a person of stable mind, stable intellect. Good? Everybody with me? Acha. All right. So, let's move on to the last verse for today then. We move on to the next verse. So that was verse 55. Sri Krishna gives us the answer. All right? Removal of all of these selfish desires that we have and realizing our true nature. Let's move on to verse 56 and we'll conclude for today. Sri Krishna continues to say, Dukheshva anuvigna manaha sukheshu vigataspiraha vitaraga bhaya krodha sthita dhir munir uchate. Sri Krishna Chandra ki jai. Dukheshva anuvigna manaha. Sri Krishna says, the person whose mind remains undisturbed among misery. So if bad things happen to you, you're not bothered. Good things happen to you, you're not bothered. Who does not crave for pleasure, sukheshu vigataspiraha, vitarag bhaya krodha, and who is free from, listen to these mental states. Attachment, rag is attachment to people and things. Bhaya means fear. And krodha means anger. Sitadhir munir uchyate. Such a person is called a sage, a realized person, one of steady wisdom. Stitadhir, firmness and wisdom. Okay? Shall we break it down? Now I'm giving you the key how to analyze this on your own. Alright? In this last verse, one whose mind remains undisturbed amidst misery. So now let me question you. If something bad happens to you, how do you feel? What happens in your mind? You feel bad. You feel sad. Someone close to you dies. A husband, a wife, significant other. You get some injury. You say, but to me it's just automatic. I must feel depressed. I must feel down. Now let me ask you why. Why would you feel depressed? Why do you feel down? So it is your nature to do that because you're accustomed having things, and when you lose things, you become disturbed. Not so? So remember, devotees, your life revolves around these two things. Not getting what you want and losing what you have. I'll say that again. Not getting what you want, and secondly, losing what you have. Now, Sri Krishna is saying, as if by magic, this realized person whatever happens, whatever bad things happen, the mind remains undisturbed. So how we could get to that point? Based on what I said at the start, you can't stop bad things from happening, can you? Bad things are always going to happen. You're going to have loss in life. Things always change. Things always end. You're always going to have pain. So how could you remain undisturbed? Well, first of all, you can accept that these things will happen, but you don't have to like it. So your mind is still disturbed, not so? So how could you be undisturbed with all of this? If something happens to one of my children, I must be disturbed? What is Pandit talking about? So Krishna is saying an undisturbed mind. How? How to rationalize this? Anyone wants to venture the answer? Don't worry with people, yeah. So people think you're heartless, but it's not you're heartless. And we still feel, we still feel emotion, but what remain undisturbed here, it mustn't throw you down. You don't fall apart. Why? Why? Because you see the bigger picture. The bigger picture. And what is the bigger picture? I just said it. See, Krishna just said it last verse. What is it? Exactly. No one comes from anywhere nor goes anywhere. We are all part of that one supreme self, that one whole. Not so? So you see when people die and they take a kalsa and they throw it down on the ground, they break up the kalsa, right? You know why they do that? You don't like to just break kalsa for so, The kalsa is like the body, but inside the kalsa you have air. The air is like the self inside. When you mash that kalsa, the air inside is the same as the air outside. Not so? Where the air come from, where the air went. This invisible supreme self is everywhere, and it is you. It is me, it is you. But if you think I am this limited individual, Sri Krishna says you're going to have trouble all the time. Because you see, me and mine. The problem of me and mine. My husband, my wife, my child, my car, my house, my goat and chicken and... Right, Auntie Vindra? One of them conk out, you're disturbed. Why? Because it's mine. I lose. You see, it's that I relationship, that attachment to it, that causes that. The day you realize that everything is one thing at play, you don't gain anything, you don't lose anything. Everything is mine, yet nothing is mine. You're totally free. You understand? But till that point, devotees, you're going to suffer. Not so? Now, it's a bitter pill to swallow, We listen to this and going, but what in the world is this Pandit saying? I am not saying this, See, Krishna is saying this. Okay? So, being a sage is not being hard-hearted, is seeing life at a different level. You have this vivek. Vivek means being able to see the difference between which is real and which is unreal. Okay, devotees? So, Sri Krishna is saying, part 1 here, your mind, the wise person's mind is undisturbed amidst misery. There is no craving for any sort of pleasure. And then the last part here as we wrap up, you are free from these 3 things. So let's look at them. Number 1, attachment. I just spoke of attachment. The idea of me and mine. I don't own my house, but I still pay mortgage. So yeah, I own it. But even so, I don't feel like it belongs to me. We are all like caretakers for a little while. Not so, Uncle Steve? Right, the family are taking care of it for a little while. They're going to leave and go one day. This body, even your own body, you're taking care of it for a while. Right, ladies? No matter how much moisturizer you put, right? It will help, it will help a little bit. As meant to, right? But no matter what you do, your body is going to crinkle up and age up at the end of the day. Not so? Right. So attachment. Don't be attached to it. Don't grab onto it. Don't hold it. That is attachment. Letting go is freedom. Let it be. Let it go. It is what it is. Enjoy it while it's there. I'm not saying don't enjoy life, If you feel you're looking nice, you looking nice. You're going to look nice all the time. And I tell Oli, I used to look nice before. When I was young and I had hair and thing. Right? But everything changes. Alright? So don't be attached to it. Then the next one is fear. Bhay. Now you tell me, what causes fear? What causes you to get frightened? Tell me. It'll be different things for different people. Me, I fear snake. Anybody else? You fear snake too, right? You say, but you like to worship Lord Shiva? Yeah, I worship Lord Shiva, not the snake. Yeah, me need to see no snake. I good. Now, the thing about it, let's dig deep and ask why. Why do we have the fears that do we have? We still have some fears. Why?
But I'll tell you, when I meditate, in deep meditation, I feel like a snake is crawling on my back. And so I had to fight it. No, don't.
Now, we could talk about that separately because that is a different movement of energy. It's not a real snake on your back, but it's a movement of energy. So we will discuss that separately, right? As a movement of Kundalini Shakti. Different. But the mind bringing up these things, you see, fear comes about again because of this fear inside a deep. I'm using fear again. I can't use fear to explain fear. Fear comes about because we are afraid of losing something or getting an experience we don't want. Afraid of snake because afraid it bite me. Or I don't like how it look. It icky. It's a mental reaction to something. Right? And the biggest fear of all is the fear of loss. We're afraid to lose things. I'm afraid for things to happen to my children. I'm afraid to get a gunshot. Why? Because it causes me pain. I feel it comes back to me. But who is that me to which everything comes? Is it this limited me or is it that supreme self? You see? So fear is born in the mind, coming as a reaction to things that we don't want to happen or we don't want to lose. And the last one, anger. Anger is a good one. So, what is anger? If I go over time, you get angry? Let me say you get vexed if Pandit, no, I don't go over time. Keeping track every time. I have like 4 minutes again. If I go over time and the Pandit get you angry, you get angry, right? So not everybody. Let's say, who to use, boy? Let me say Nani get angry at me. I know Nani wouldn't mind because Nani don't care about all this no more, right? Nani is an example for everybody. Nani get vexed because Pandit Umesh can't shut up. Carrying on, right? He want to make everybody realize in one morning. Why does Nani get vexed? Is it something that, is it due to me or is it due to Nani? Nani. Why? Because I'm not finishing by 10:30. But why? Why would she get angry if I am not finishing by 10:30? Yeah. So I cramp in Nani style. You understand? I keeping things back. Again, it comes back to what I have to do. Oh, yeah. Like my mother and father too. Yeah. Nani, this is a Pandit problem, eh? Ask all Pandit wives. They say the man and them don't stay quiet. They don't stop talking afterward. They say the worst thing you can do is give Pandit a mic, right? Because they carry on and carry on. But why? You would get angry because that person doesn't respect you. Doesn't respect your time. I have things to do, so you get vexed. You understand? So it, again, if you dig deep, you realize it is a reaction to things not going the way that you want. Not so? You have a little child, you pour a nice cup of juice, beta, drink the juice. The child, shing, and throw down the juice like that. You get vexed. I used to get vexed all the time. I said, what all you doing? Abhinav used to run and go and bite Vaishnavi in her behind and thing. All kind of weird things children do, and they get vexed. Why? They're not behaving in the way that you want her. It's an annoyance for you. It's a burden for you. So you see, anger, it is said like anger is like picking up a hot coal and trying to throw it at somebody else. Who gets burned? You. So if Nani vexed, I am finishing on time. Who eating themselves up? Nani or me? Nani. Now, that being said, Nani, I understand your predicament. You should talk to my mother a little bit. Right? And you could bond over, yeah. Talk to RT too. But I'm not as bad. I'm not as bad as my father and thing, right? Yes, as bad, no?
No.
No, not as bad. All right. All right. 1 minute again. All right. So you see these three things, devotees. What I'm trying to show you, attachment, fear, anger, the root of it, if you dig deep within yourself, it comes from one place. Not getting what you want or losing what you have. But it comes deeper down from this sense of you being this little person and you wanting things to go away. It cannot go your way. Accept that. Total acceptance. You are not the little SELF, you are the capital SELF, the big self. Right? And you're just, you are not a human being trying to have a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. One spiritual being with a human experience. I could tell you all this from from now till I dead, but you see, devotees, it's not for me to convince you. You see, this is the procedure. There's Sravanam, you listen first. There's Mananam, which is you have to analyze for yourself, apply it to your own life. Go through your life, go through the experience, and then Nidhidhyasan, deep meditation, realization, manifestation, and knowing of this. And once you go through that, keep doing it, keep doing it. This is why you come here every Sunday, you do your puja at home, whatever. You're moving towards this end goal. Whether you do it through Bhakti Yoga, devotional, Karma Yoga, action, Gyan Yoga, Raj Yoga, whatever kind of yoga, all of these actions put together is toward this one aim, this one end goal. Realize who you are. And either you make yourself nothing, Shiva, you are everything, Devi, you are everything, or you realize your true nature, I am, Aham Brahmasmi, I am everything. But I'm not just saying it. Anybody can go, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. We can bring a para to say it. The realization, the knowing must be there. And that is what we are working toward. Okay, devotees? Clear? So at this point here, at verse 56, we will conclude for today. Bole Sri Krishna Chandra ki jai. As I normally do you have any questions that I could briefly answer? Yes.
What happens to a person that don't reach that level of realization and they die? What happens to that person?
So the question is, I'll repeat it for the benefit of everybody. If you don't get to that realization in this lifetime, what happens? Now, we all try. So according to Vedanta, the theory, we have two bodies. There is the physical body, Sthula Sharir, and there is the subtle body, Sukshma Sharir, with the mind and emotions, etc. And within that is pure consciousness. What moves from body to body? So the body is like old clothes that you throw away. You die, right? We have people here. Uncle Ken died, right? Panditji died. Everybody will die, but that's just the body. The Sukshma Sharir, that subtle body, it moves on. Now, when I say moves on, don't think that it took up a stick and start to go on a trek somewhere. All of that is just things to get people who can't understand to understand. It exists as like information. It's like the internet. Where is the internet? Everywhere, right? It exists there and it takes up a new body, a new form, and continues the journey on. But even deeper than that, what is at the heart of that subtle body, of different subtle bodies? That same oneself. So actually, I'll answer this question on two levels. Life goes on. There is no end to life. And you feel, all right, you didn't achieve that in this particular life. The body drops. That information of that person in the subtle body moves on, takes up a different form and goes on again. And then goes on again until realization happens. But then at the highest level, then what? Because everything is one thing. And the game renews itself afoot. Not so? So that one self is at play. The highest level understanding, it is that one self at play in all of these forms. Nothing really takes form. It's like a mirage, an appearance in that one self. So you are asking this question from your limited view as Akash individual. What happens to me if I don't realize? But when you do realize, you realize there isn't an Akash to talk about. There is one self, same as me, same as you, same as everybody. One self, just appearances and disappearances. Nothing has been created, nothing has been destroyed, really and truly. It is one self, that supreme self at play. Understand? So I've given you the answer in two levels. One, yes, rebirth, karma, etc. But the highest level, which is there is just one supreme self manifesting in all of these forms. The trick is to realize it. So nothing is lost. No effort you put is lost. You ever see some small children, they're born, they could do things like play violin, or they instantly become a yogi, they reach high spiritual states. Adi Shankar, who we talk about, Adi Shankar was 30-something, when he died, 32 or something like that. So age is not a factor really, chronological age. It is a spiritual age, if you will. Okay?
You know, Panditji, we can learn from flowers, from putting the seed while the flower grows. Take a good look. Then it blooms. Then you know after a couple of weeks it's going to dry. Then you know it's going to be gone. But guess what? Sometimes the seed fall at the earth new and in.
Exact example.
So you have to pay attention to these.
Of course. The seed is like potentiality. That is like the Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. It's not a physical thing, eh? So don't let people tell you a kind of thing where, I wouldn't go into this, right? But it's not a physical, it's like information that moves on, consciousness.
Yeah, to make you Lord.
Referring to the verses of the Lord explained, what is Sankhya?
What is? Sankhya?
Sankhya.
That is Sankhya. M with the dot on top, that is Sankhya. Yeah. Sankhya is knowledge, is Gyan. It is Vedant. It is Tattvamasi, what we are talking about here. So what Sri Krishna explained is Sankhya Yoga, which is this knowledge of what is your true self, what is your true nature, Tattvamasi. And everything else unpacks that knowledge into what we could realize. So there's one supreme self manifesting as different forms of creation, as the subtle body, as the physical body. And the journey, as Sankhya points out, is to take that reverse direction, go back now from the body to the internal mind and emotions, to the witness of all of that, the Sakshi, and realize your true nature. So that is the knowledge system itself. It's called Sankhya. And Sankhya Yoga. Right? Now, not to confuse this, there's another system of philosophy in Hinduism called Sankhya philosophy. That is something different too. So sometimes the names could be confusing, but in the Gita here, Sankhya treated as this ancient system of knowledge, of Gyan, that Sri Krishna is putting forth in chapter 2 especially. Good? Acha? Alright, and if we have more questions, next time you can ask. Continue reading devotees, we'll move forward from this verse next time. We'll make preparations for our final Havan. While that is done, let's join together in a final Sri Krishna Kirtan. And then we'll join together at Pandita Atma for our final Havan.
प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो यशोदा के बाल दर्शन दे दो. We sing प्यारे नंद लाल darshan de do. You want to get this sight. Now what kind of sight? Based on what I've just said, devotees, if you pray to Sri Krishna and imagine that form as representing that Supreme Spirit, good. Focus on that alone. If you think of Sri Krishna as that Supreme Self in meditation, that you realize that Supreme I Am, focus on that. That is darshan, the true sight, the sight of who you are. So all of these kirtans and bhajans that we sing, you see, it's much deeper than just clapping and singing and praying to God. It's very, very deep. So you start at that level, but you move inward. Okay, so I don't want you to waste time whenever we sing. It's not just about, enjoying the music. It's about deep introspection, like Nidhi Dhyasan, I just mentioned. Alright? So when we sing, try to understand what we're singing and have your full attention, focus on what we are trying to do. Pyare Nand Lal, Pyare Nand Lal, Pyare Nand Lal, darshan de do. प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो.
प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो.
हाँ यशोदा के बाल दर्शन दे दो.
यशोदा के बाल दर्शन दे दो.
यशोदा के बाल दर्शन दे दो.
यशोदा के बाल दो
प्यारे नंद लाल, प्यारे नंद लाल, प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो,
प्यारे नंदलाल दर्शन दे दो
प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो,
प्यारे नंदलाल दर्शन दे दो
नटवर लाल दर्शन दे दो,
नटवर लाल दर्शन दे दो
नटवर लाल दर्शन दे दो,
नटवर लाल दर्शन दे दो
हो दर्शन दे दो,
दर्शन दे दो
हो दर्शन दे दो,
दर्शन दे दो
नटवर लाल दर्शन दे दो,
नटवर लाल दर्शन दे दो
गिरिधर बाल दर्शन दे दो,
गिरिधर दर्शन दे दो
गिरिधर बाल दर्शन दे दो,
गिरिधर दर्शन दे दो
प्यारे नंद लाल, प्यारे नंद लाल, प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो, प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो, यशोदा के बाल दर्शन दे दो, यशोदा के बाल दर्शन दे दो, प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो, प्यारे नंद लाल दर्शन दे दो, दर्शन दे दो,
दर्शन दे दो
ओ दर्शन दे दो,
दर्शन दे दो
दर्शन दे दो।
दर्शन दे दो
बोले श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय. We join with Pandit Atma for final havan.
ओम श्रीमन महागणाधिपतये स्वाहा. ओम श्री गौरी माता स्वाहा. ओम श्री पृथ्वी माता स्वाहा. ओम श्री पंचोपादेवाय स्वाहा. ओम ह्रीं श्रीं चनिकाय नमः स्वाहा. ओम क्रीं काल्याय नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री सिद्धेश्वरी महालक्ष्मी माताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वत्यै स्वाहा. ओम श्री नवदुर्गा माताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री स्वाहा माताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा. ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा. ओम नमो भगवते नारायण स्वाहा. ओम श्री सीतारामचंद्राय नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री हनुमंताय नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री आदित्य देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री चंद्रदेवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री मंगल देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री बुध देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री बृहस्पति देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री शुक्र देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री शनि देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री राहुवे नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री केतवे नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री अग्नि देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री इष्ट देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री कुल देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री अस्तान देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री वास्तु देवाय स्वाहा. ओम श्री सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री अनंत स्वरूपाय ब्रह्मणे नमः स्वाहा. ओम श्री गुरुवेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा. Please all stand. ओम नमः शमवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शंकराय च महेश्वराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च. ओम नमः शिवाय. ओम पूर्णमिदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णदश्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम सर्वं वै पूर्णमं स्वाहा. बोल श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय.
We'll have our final arati devotees. While it's in progress, as we usually do, you can come up and get your vibhuti.
जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जो ध्यावे पल पावे, दुख बिन से मन का, स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का। सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मीठे तन का। मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गहो किसकी, स्वामी शरण गहो किसकी। तुम बिन और न दूजा, प्रभु बिन और न दूजा, आश करूं जिसकी। तुम पूरन परमात्मा, तुम अंतरयामी, स्वामी तुम अंतरयामी। पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता, स्वामी तुम पालन करता। दीन दयालु कृपालु, दीन दयालु कृपालु, कृपा करो भरता। जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति, स्वामी सबके प्राणपति। किस विधि मिलो दया में, किस विधि मिलो दया में, तुमको मैं कुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे, स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे। करुणा हस्त बढ़ावो, करुणा हस्त बढ़ावो, पाप परा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ावो, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ावो।
जनार्दनं यत् पूजितं मया देवा परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय, ॐ तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, ॐ मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम। हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, आर शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोले श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय।